Hi, my name is Thomas and this is lesson number 1 on how to shoot a great travel video. I'm here with Rob today.
Hi, how are you?
Rob is going to go to Italy and he's going to learn how to bake wood fire bread, and he's going to be documenting his trip via video. So he's asked me to just show him some of the basics on how to do a great travel video. And the first basic thing you need to know that's going to make all the difference is to use a tripod. A tripod is going to make the difference between an amateur video and a video that looks professional. And the most important thing to do when you're using a tripod is, first of all,
is level it up.
That's right. Level it up, and remember the next thing?
Tighten all your toggles to
That's
how
right.
you want them.
So the first thing is you level it out so the horizon is level, and the next thing is that there's quite a few screws on here that allow you to move the camera around, and you got to tighten up all these screws because otherwise there's movement and then you get a bit of a jerky video, and that's not what you want. So the first thing is panning. When you're panning, there's two very important things that we need to consider. First of all, it has to be slow and steady. A lot slower than you would imagine, because you're looking at the little screen, your little LCD, and that's not the same as looking at it on a big screen. On a big screen we want to see details, so the slower you go, the better it is. And the second thing is, of course, you got to do it fluidly and at the same speed. So you don't want to go fast at the beginning and then slow down, unless that transition is very, very smooth and you have a certain purpose in that. Most of the time you just want to have a very steady and slow pan to the right and to the left. And there's quite a few controls on your tripod on the side of it that allow you to increase or decrease the tension. And that means you can either have more control or less control over your pan. And of course you can also pan up and down, not just right and left. And the other important thing to remember when you're doing any shooting, leave some space before you start shooting and after. So about 4 seconds before you start panning, just leave it on and film it, because that will later help you in your editing. Also leave 4 seconds after you stopped your pan, and do the pan in both directions, because you never know, you might want to use a right pan or a left pan depending on what precedes it in your editing process. So do both, and even have a steady shot or zoom in and zoom out. If you really like a scenery, because then you have the choice. You have pans, you have zooming in and zooming out, or steady shots, depending on what you want to use later on. So get as much footage as you can, because that just gives you more choice. And of course the same principles apply to zooming. I know that it's pretty hard with your camera, isn't it, to get it nice and steady.
Slow and steady, yeah. You sort of got to rest your finger right there and ever so slightly touch it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You need to get sort of a feel for how your zoom works, so that you can get a nice, steady, slow zoom at the same speed as you're panning, so that your video pretty much has always the same speed, because that will give you that nice and relaxed feeling. Because most of the time you look at home videos and there's just too much going on, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's just, moving around, zooming in and zooming out, and much too fast, so you don't get that really nice and relaxed feeling that you want from a travel video. Anything that surprised you about the panning?
Yeah, the panning is quite slow. I never would have thought it would be that slow. I'm usually quite an energetic person, and like you said before, you kind of got to be two completely different people, one in front of the camera and one behind the camera. So that's slow it down, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So you can be very energetic in front of the camera, but you have to sort of keep your energy in check when you're behind the camera. When you're behind the camera, you sort of want to take it really slow, take a breather before you start, because you've got to do everything slow and steady. And the other thing is, of course, that it's much more fun to be in front of the camera than behind, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So bring your tripod.
That's it. Bring your tripod, and that's it for lesson number 1. And of course, if you want to know how to make money with travel videos, then go to filmingholidays.com, because I can tell you also how to make a bit of money with your travel videos.
Cool.
That's it from Rob and me.
Good luck.
All right. Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.